Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing amazing. 2019 is already proving to be a very choppy year as we start. I at least want to put on your radar so that you know that the US economy is slowing down without a doubt. There's no question about it. So please at least have this on your radar and be prepared as we get much later stage in 2019. In today's video, I'm going to talk about two key evidence for why the U.S. economy is slowing. And this is further proof that we should be concerned about a potential recession on the way. The first topic I'll talk about would be the ISM Manufacturing Index. The second topic I'll talk about is the Delta Airlines revised earnings. And then in the very end of the video, I'll close off with how you should be thinking about the rest of 2019. So let's jump straight into the first topic. Here's a CNBC article where they're talking about how the ISM Manufacturing Index fell to 54 in December. This is the lowest level in more than 2 years. Before I kind of jump through all of that, I actually want to pause for a little bit and talk about what the ISM Manufacturing Index even means, right? So the ISM Manufacturing Index, this is a survey comprised of more than 300 manufacturing firms. And ISM stands for the Institute for Supply Management, okay? Now, the way they look at this is that you can think of the ISM index as a leading indicator. And the reason why this is a leading indicator and not a lagging indicator like GDP or like payroll numbers is because this index can actually tell you how these manufacturing firms are doing in terms of their demand for products. Because if there's more demand, then the manufacturing firms will be able to ramp up production, and they'll then be able to sell more or like increase their prices. So it is a leading indicator, which is extremely important to note. Now, the way you can think of it is that there's a few things that these firms think of, and on the survey, the firms will talk about how whether they're increasing, decreasing, or if they're stagnant in these various activities, such as production. Are they hiring more people? So employment, inventories. Are their inventories building up, which would be obviously a bad sign? They're talking about order backlog. Now, this would be a good thing for a company to have a backlog of products so they can continue meeting their demand. They also talk about like imports and exports as well. So essentially, that's how you kind of, like these firms, they fill out a survey on these different activities. And that's how we actually come up with an index at the very end. It's an aggregate of about 300 manufacturing firms here. So in the article here, they're talking about how the index fell to 54 in December, which is the lowest level since November 2016. And we actually missed expectation. We were supposed to hit about 58 in December, but we didn't. And this is actually being very alarming for a lot of people, as people are thinking about how the global economy simply is just slowing down. China has been slowing down as well. Now, actually, let's take a chart. Let's take a look at the chart here, where you see kind of like the trend. We've really for the 2018, we've kind of been around this average of about like 59 to 60 for the PMI, but it's actually getting much weaker now. On a 10-year, you can see that it still looks very strong, but if you look on a 5-year, you can kind of see what happened when, 2016, you kind of saw the U.S. contracting, and we actually might be in that phase already. So please be alert for that, you guys. And here's a very interesting chart on, or like a table kind of comparison, what people are saying from the very beginning in January 2018 compared to now, January 2019. And a lot of these companies are talking about how growth appears to have stopped. Customer demand continues to decrease due to economic and tariff concerns. People are talking about how they're cautious about the outlook. This one firm even said, are we in a correction? Or is the market getting ready to slow over time? So, if you want to take a look at this comparison, I think it's extremely helpful to kind of see that there are a lot of angst from a lot of these manufacturing firms, and it's going to affect the economy, as we're already seeing. And here's a great chart here from Lawrence on Twitter, and he's talking about how the last time we had the largest 1 month plunge in ISM was when Lehman Brothers failed in 2008. This is very shocking news. I mean, just look how long that red candle is. So please just be alert. I think the market is trying to signal to investors that the economy is slowing down. And as we can see from all the pullback in prices, so please position your portfolio accordingly, raise cash, buy option puts, but please keep this on your radar because the U.S. economy is slowing down. And the second topic I'm going to shift over to now is how Delta Airline, they came out today saying that they're revising down their revenue for the holiday quarter. And because of this, like the Delta Airline got hit pretty hard. They fell about 9% today, which is very sharp and not good for the airline business at all. And the reason why this is important is because the company is saying that the pace of improvement in December were more modest than anticipated, which is really hinting to investors that there's a slowdown that is occurring. People just aren't traveling as much. And some of you might be wondering, well, oil prices have been pretty low. However, you should really keep in mind that the airline business is extremely competitive, and the airline competes with each other to win business for customers. And the way to do this is by giving away like free rewards or even with like lower fares. So even with the lower oil prices, it's not helping these airline companies at all. So really not a good sign at all. I think really with the ISM showing very conclusive evidence that the U.S. economy is slowing down and the airline business is slowing down, these are signs to be cautious. So please keep this on your radar. So in the end, if you really found this video helpful, please drop a like. Feel free to subscribe as well. If you post a comment below, I promise you I'll respond back. I'll share with you my ideas and what I'm thinking. But I really, the purpose of this video is to really show my viewers content where, people just aren't being alarming others people on. So keep this in mind, you guys, and thank you again for watching. Until next time, thank you again, and take care. Bye, you guys.